This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away from August to October in 1999 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Helen Vincent, she was born in September 1907 and she died in October 1999. Her age was 92 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Helen Vincent was a notable American film actress from Texas. She appeared in around 40 films between 1932 to 1945 and received a star on Hollywood Walk of Fame, known for playing sophisticated, sometimes villainous roles. Ruth Roman, she was born in December 1922 and she died in September 1999. Her age was 79 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Born Norma Roman in Lynn, Massachusetts, Ruth Roman rose to fame in Hollywood during the 1940s and 1950s. She earned acclaim for her performance in Champion and later starred in Hitchcock's Straight Jacket. Notably, she survived the Andrea Doria sinking in 1956 with her young son. Mary Jane Croft, she was born in February 1916 and she died in August 1999. Her age was 83 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Mary Jane Croft was beloved as a supporting actress on classic television comedies. Her recurring roles as Betty Ramsey and Mary Lane Lewis on I Love Lucy and The Lucy Show endeared her to viewers. A veteran of radio and television, she retired in the 1970s and passed away in the Century City. Victor Mature, he was born in January 1913 and he died in August 1999. His age was 86 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was leukemia. Victor Mature was a Broadway and film star, known for his chiseled looks and roles in biblical epics like Samson and Delilah and prehistoric adventures like 1 Million BC. He gained early acclaim on stage in Lady in the Dark before Hollywood fame. He died at his Rancho Santa Fe home after a battle with leukemia. George C. Scott, he was born in October 1927 and he died in September 1999. His age was 71 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. George C. Scott was an iconic actor and director known for his intense, powerful performances. He famously turned down the Oscar after winning it for Patton and delivering gripping roles in Dr. Strangelove and A Christmas Carol. He also had a prolific stage career. Scott died suddenly at home of a ruptured aneurysm. Alan Funch, he was born in September 1914 and he died in September 1999. His age was 84 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from stroke. Alan Funch was a creative force behind Candid Camera, pioneering hidden camera television in the United States. His tagline, "Smile, you are on the Candid Camera," became part of popular culture. After retiring, he ran a ranch in California. He passed away from complications following a stroke sustained in 1993. Jim Keith, he was born in September 1949 and he died in September 1999. His age was 49 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was blunt force trauma. Jim Keith was a writer known for exploring conspiracy theories, mind control and government secrets. His sudden death in 1999 resulting from blunt force trauma after a hospital visit for minor injury stirred controversy in alternative press circles. His works remain influential in French literature. Anthony Stanislas Radzville, he was born in August 1959 and he died in August 1999. His age was 40 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was cancer. A cousin and close friend of JFK Jr., Anthony Radzville was an award-winning television producer known for thoughtful documentaries. The son of Lee Bouvier Radzville, he married Carol Radzville in 1994. After a 5-year battle with cancer, he died at New York Hospital. Milton Jackson, he was born in January 1923 and he died in October 1999. His age was 76 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was liver cancer. Milt's Bag Jackson was a pioneering jazz vibraphonist and founding member of the modern jazz quartet. His warm swing style influenced generations of musicians. With the NJQ, he brought vibraphone to prominence in small combo jazz. He passed away in 1999 from health complications. Abraham Palonsky, he was born in December 1910 and he died in October 1999. His age was 88 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Palonsky was a socially conscious filmmaker blacklisted during the McCarthy era. His landmark noir Force of Evil garnered critical acclaim, though his career was hindered by political persecution. He turned later to direct and write, making a notable late career comeback. Taxton, he was born in March 1938 and he died in October 1999. His age was 61 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart attack. Taxton was a prolific country rock singer, songwriter, whose tunes became hits for peers like Stephen Wolfe and Linda Ronstadt. He also acted in films and television. After suffering strokes and heart troubles, he died at home in Montana following 2 heart attacks. Shepard, he was born in July 1921 and he died in October 1999. His age was 78 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Shepard was a storyteller and humorist whose radio monologues inspired the beloved film A Christmas Story. His dry, nostalgic narrative style entertained audiences for decades on radio and in print. Frank DeVore, he was born in September 1911 and he died in October 1999. His age was 88 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was congestive heart failure. Frank DeVore was a versatile figure in mid-century entertainment, composing memorable television themes for shows like The Brady Bunch and My Three Sons, while also composing film scores and acting character roles on screen. DeVore began composing music when he was 12. Moondog, Louis Harden, he was born in May 1916 and he died in September 1999. His age was 83 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart failure. Blind since 16, Moondog became a fixture on New York streets, performing in Viking attire and composing unique minimalist music using self-made instruments. He influenced major composers like Philip Glass and jazz innovators. He died in Germany in 1999, leaving a cult legacy. Danny Mayo, he was born in October 1950 and he died in October 1999. His age was 49 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Danny Mayo was an American songwriter, primarily known for writing country hits for artists such as Alabama Tracy Byrd, Pirates of Mississippi, and Confederate Railroad. Byrd's The Keeper of the Stars, which he wrote with Dickie Lee and Karen Staley, was named Song of the Year by the Country Music Association in 1995. Marion Zimmer Bradley, she was born in June 1930 and she died in September 1999. Her age was 69 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was heart attack. Bradley was an American author of fantasy, historical fantasy, science fiction, and science fantasy novels, and is best known for the Arthurian fiction novel The Mist of Avalon and the Darkover series. She was noted for the female perspective in her writing, something before little seen in sword and sorcery fantasy. Art Farmer, he was born in August 1928 and he died in October 1999. His age was 71 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart attack. Art Farmer was an American bebop trumpeter, renowned for his warm lyrical tone. He co-founded the influential Jazz Tet in 1959 with Benny Golson and popularized fudge horn and his own flumpet. A widely respected figure in both United States and European jazz scenes, he continued performing actively until his sudden heart attack in New York City. Norman Rexler, he was born in August 1926 and he died in August 1999. His age was 73 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart attack. Norman Rexler was an American screenwriter whose work influenced films such as Saturday Night Fever, Serpico and Joe, a New Bedford, Massachusetts native and 1944 Central High School graduate in Detroit. Rexler attended Harvard University before moving to New York in 1951. Lane Kirkland, he was born in March 1922 and he died in August 1999. His age was 77 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was cancer. Lane Kirkland led a powerful AFL-CIO federation from 1979 to 1995, playing a pivotal role in the United States labor and anti-communist initiatives during the Cold War. He steered the federation through major industrial shifts, supporting solidarity in Eastern Europe. Willie Morris, he was born in November 1934 and he died in August 1999. His age was 64 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Willie Morris was a celebrated Southern writer and editor of Harper's Magazine. His deeply personal memoir North, Toward Home, and other writings chronicled Southern culture, capturing both nostalgia and critique. He remained a literary voice until his passing. David A. Huffman, he was born in August 1925 and he died in October 1999. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. David A. Huffman invented Huffman coding in 1952, a cornerstone of data compression used in formats like JPEG and MP3. His work underpins millions of digital systems worldwide, making him one of computer science's pivotal figures. Lee Lozano, she was born in November 1930 and she died in October 1999. Her age was 68 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Lee Lozano was an American conceptual artist and painter known for her radical performance-based works like General Stride Peace, a prominent figure in 1960s and 70s avant-garde movements. Her career was marked by bold experiments and abrupt withdrawal from the art world. Robert Mills, he was born in April 1927 and he died in October 1999. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Robert Mills was a theoretical physicist, best known for co-developing the Yang-Mills gauge theory, foundational for the Standard Model in practical physics. His contributions deeply impacted our understanding of fundamental forces. Leroy Vinegar, he was born in July 1928 and he died in August 1999. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Leroy Vinegar was known for his distinctive walking bass in West Coast jazz. He recorded with legends like Shelly Manne and Hampton House, making him a go-to bassist throughout the 1950s and 60s jazz scene. John Chaffy, he was born in October 1922 and he died in October 1999. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. John Chaffy was an American politician and officer in the United States Marine Corps. A member of the Republican Party, he served as the 66th Governor of Rhode Island, as the Secretary of the Navy, and as a United States Senator. George Forrest, he was born in July 1915 and he died in October 1999. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. George Forrest won acclaim for adapting music from Alexander Borodin into Broadway hits like Kismet. His lush romantic lyrics and melodies earned him Tony and Pulitzer nomination. Alex Lowe, he was born in December 1958 and he died in October 1999. His age was 40 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was an avalanche accident. Alex Lowe was a legendary mountaineer, known for pioneering new routes in the Himalayas and Alaska. His untimely death by avalanche while skiing near Shishapangama shocked the climbing world. James C. Murray, he was born in May 1917 and he died in October 1999. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. James C. Murray was a United States representative from Illinois from 1955 to 1957. He graduated from the DePaul University Law School in 1940 and subsequently worked as a lawyer. He served in the United States Army Air Forces from 1942 to 1945. Marian O McManus Jr, he was born in July 1921 and he died in August 1999. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Marian O McManus Jr was a scientist at the Langley Memorial Aeronautical Laboratory. who researched a wide variety of aerospace topics including personal aircraft, dynamics, and aircraft configurations. Like many of his contemporaries, he conducted secret war-related research during the Second World War, the results of which were later declassified. Gorilla Monsoon. He was born in June 1937 and he died in October 1999. His age was 62 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Robert Gorilla Monsoon Marilla was a giant of pro wrestling, both in the ring and behind the mic. He transitioned from a performing to broadcasting iconic WWF events, beloved for his booming voice and in-ring persona. A two-time big man, he later served as a respected announcer. He died of a heart failure driven by diabetes. Wilt Chamberlain. He was born in August 1936 and he died in October 1999. His age was 63 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was congestive heart failure. Wilt was an American professional basketball player. Standing 7 feet 1 inch tall, he played center in the National Basketball Association for 14 seasons. He was enshrined in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 1978 and was elected to the NBA's 35th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams. Pee Wee Reese. He was born in July 1918 and he died in August 1999. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. Harold Pee Wee Reese was a steady shortstop and captain of Dodgers' legendary Boys of Summer, a 10-time All-Star and Hall of Famer. He later became a broadcaster. He died after a battle with lung cancer. Alan Stack. He was born in January 1928 and he died in September 1999. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Alan Stack was an Olympic gold medalist in backstroke at London and swam for Yale. He served in the United States Navy and remained engaged in the sport until his passing in Honolulu. Catfish Hunter. He was born in April 1946 and he died in September 1999. His age was 53 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was ALS. Jim Catfish Hunter was one of baseball's elite pitchers, winning 5 World Series and throwing a perfect game. His contract dispute helped spark free agency. He died after a year-long battle with ALS. Glenn Foster. He was born in August 1930 and he died in October 1999. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Glenn Seward Foster II was a United States sailor and Olympic competitor in the Dragon class in the 1968 Olympics. He represented America with distinction and passed away in New York. Boris. He was born in July 1923 and he died in October 1999. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Boris was a professional catcher of the Braves over several seasons and served in the Second World War. After baseball, he focused on his family and church until his death in Charlotte. John McClendon. He was born in April 1915 and he died in October 1999. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. John McClendon was an American basketball coach who is recognized as the first African-American basketball coach at a predominantly white university and the first African-American head coach in any professional sport. He was a major contributor to the development of modern basketball and coached on both the college and professional levels during his career. Payne Stewart. He was born in January 1957 and he died in October 1999. His age was 42 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was plane crash. Payne Stewart was an American professional golfer who won 11 PGA Tour events, including 3 major championships, the last of which came just a few months before his death in an airplane accident at the age of 42. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.